Ladies and gentlemen, friends, and fellow dreamers, today we gather here to embark on a transformative journey, one that starts not outside of us but within. The power to shape our lives begins with the power to shape our minds, and one of the greatest hurdles we face on that journey is the force of negative thinking. Negative thinking is like a dark cloud that hovers over our lives, dimming the brightness of our potential. It limits our dreams, distorts our perspective, and convinces us that we are less than we truly are. We've all been there. When doubt creeps in, when the voice in our head tells us we can't, when fear whispers that failure is inevitable. But I stand before you today to tell you that you are stronger than your doubts, more capable than your fears, and destined for greatness that exceeds your wildest dreams. Let me start by saying this. Negative thinking is not your fault. It's not a flaw in your character or a sign of weakness. It is a part of the human experience, a mechanism our minds have developed to protect us from perceived threats and disappointments. But here's the truth. It's a faulty mechanism. Negative thinking was never meant to be our master. It was meant to serve us, to keep us safe, but not to keep us small. Yet, over time, we've allowed it to become a mental prison that constrains us. So how do we break free? How do we unshackle ourselves from the chains of negative thinking? How do we step into the light of possibility and potential, leaving behind the shadows of self-doubt and limitation? The first step to breaking negative thinking is awareness. Too often, we become so used to the voice of negativity in our heads that we don't even recognize it. It's like background noise, always there, yet unnoticed. But today, I challenge you to listen to that voice. Pay attention to the thoughts that run through your mind. Are they lifting you up or tearing you down? Are they moving you toward your goals or keeping you stuck? You cannot change what you are not aware of. And awareness is not just about acknowledging negative thoughts, it's about recognizing the patterns behind them. Is there a recurring theme to your negativity? Does it surface when you're facing challenges or stepping outside of your comfort zone? Does it show up in the form of fear, self-doubt, or perfectionism? Once you've identified the pattern, you can begin to disrupt it. Negative thinking thrives on assumptions, not facts. It tells us things like, I'm not good enough, I'll never succeed, or this is too hard. These thoughts are not truths. They are stories we tell ourselves based on past experiences, failures, or even fears of the unknown. But here's the thing about stories. They can be rewritten. When negative thoughts arise, ask yourself, is this really true? What evidence do I have that supports this thought? What evidence do I have that contradicts it? Challenge the narrative that negativity feeds you. You'll find that much of what your mind is telling you is not rooted in reality, but in old fears and self-imposed limitations. And once you recognize that, you reclaim your power to change the story. What you focus on grows. If you constantly focus on the obstacles, the setbacks, and the limitations, that's all you'll see. But when you shift your focus to possibilities, opportunities, and solutions, a whole new world opens up. It's easy to get caught up in what's wrong, in the things we lack, and in the fear of failure. But remember this, every problem has a solution, every setback is a setup for a comeback, and every failure is a stepping stone to success. Your focus determines your reality, so focus on what you can control, what you can achieve, and what is going well. Gratitude is a powerful tool in this regard. When you feel negativity creeping in, stop and take a moment to focus on what you're grateful for. Gratitude shifts your perspective from what's missing to what's abundant in your life. It reminds you that even in difficult times, there are always things to appreciate. And in that shift, negativity loses its grip. Many of us fear failure so much that we allow it to dominate our thoughts, holding us back from even trying. But here's the truth about failure. It's not the end, it's a beginning. Failure is not a reflection of your worth or your abilities. It is feedback. It is the universe's way of telling you to adjust, to learn, to grow. When you reframe failure as part of the process, you take away its power to control you. You begin to see setbacks not as signs that you're not good enough, but as valuable lessons that are preparing you for success. Every successful person you admire has failed, often more than you can imagine. They didn't let failure define them, they let it refine them. And so can you. Negativity is contagious, but so is positivity. One of the most effective ways to break the cycle of negative thinking is to surround yourself with positive influences. This could be people who uplift you, environments that inspire you, or even content that nourishes your mind. Take a close look at your circle. Are the people around you encouraging your growth, or are they feeding your doubts? Are they helping you see possibilities, or are they reinforcing your fears? Surround yourself with those who believe in you, who see your potential even when you can't. Engage with content, books, podcasts, videos that inspire and motivate you. Remember, the energy you expose yourself to matters. You have the power to curate your environment in a way that supports your journey toward positive thinking. Breaking negative thinking isn't about forcing yourself to be positive all the time. It's not about denying your struggles or pretending that everything is perfect. It's about accepting that you are human, that you will have ups and downs, and that it's okay to not have it all figured out. Self-compassion is the antidote to the harsh self-criticism that often accompanies negative thinking. Instead of beating yourself up when things go wrong, extend the same kindness and understanding to yourself that you would offer a friend. Remind yourself that growth is a process, not a destination, and that you are allowed to stumble along the way. When you practice self-compassion, you create space for healing and growth. You allow yourself to move forward without the weight of guilt or shame. And in that space, negativity loses its grip and you begin to rise. One of the most powerful ways to break negative thinking is to take action. Action creates momentum, and momentum builds confidence. When you take even the smallest step toward your goals, you disrupt the cycle of negativity. You prove to yourself that you are capable, that you can make progress, and that you are not stuck. Don't wait for the perfect moment or for the negativity to disappear entirely before you take action. Start where you are, with what you have. Take that first step, no matter how small. Each step forward chips away at the negative thoughts that tell you can't. Each action reinforces the belief that you can. Breaking negative thinking is not a one-time event. It's a daily practice. Just as negative thinking has been ingrained over time, positive thinking must be cultivated consistently. It's a habit, and like any habit, it takes time to build. Commit to the process. Every day, make a conscious effort to challenge negative thoughts, to shift your focus, to take action, and to practice self-compassion. Some days will be easier than others, but what matters is that you stay the course. Over time, you'll find that the negative thoughts that once dominated your mind have less power, and the positive, empowering thoughts become your new default. Above all, breaking negative thinking requires belief. Belief in yourself, in your potential, and in the idea that you are capable of more than you can imagine. Your thoughts shape your reality, and when you begin to believe in your own power, the world around you begins to shift. It's time to let go of the stories that no longer serve you. It's time to stop living in the shadow of doubt and step into the light of possibility. You are not your negative thoughts. You are the author of your own story, and you have the power to write a new chapter, one filled with hope, courage, and success. Let's dive even deeper into this process, because breaking negative thinking is more than just a quick fix. It's a lifelong commitment to transformation. This journey doesn't happen overnight, and it's essential to understand that it requires patience and persistence. Every single day, you have the opportunity to challenge those negative thoughts and reframe your perspective. And each time you do, you're rewriting the narrative of your life. Negative thinking is like a bad habit. It's something we've nurtured over time, often unconsciously. But the beauty of habits is that they can be unlearned and replaced with new ones. You can teach your mind to think differently, to respond with optimism instead of fear, with hope instead of despair. It takes effort, but the rewards are immeasurable. The life you're destined to live is waiting for you on the other side of those limiting thoughts. One of the most important things to remember on this journey is that setbacks will happen. You will have days when negative thoughts flood your mind, days when self-doubt seems louder than your dreams. But setbacks are not failures. They are part of the process. Don't let them discourage you. Each time you face a setback, see it as an opportunity to reinforce your new way of thinking. A setback is simply a setup for a comeback, and each time you bounce back, you grow stronger. Another powerful tool in breaking negative thinking is visualization. Close your eyes and imagine the life you want to live, the goals you want to achieve, and the person you want to become. See it in vivid detail. Feel the emotions that come with achieving those dreams. When you visualize your success, you're training your mind to focus on possibilities, not limitations. This practice helps you create a mental blueprint of the life you want, and your mind will naturally begin to work toward making it a reality. Surrounding yourself with positive influences cannot be emphasized enough. The people you spend time with, the content you consume, and the environment you immerse yourself in all play a role in shaping your thoughts. If you're constantly surrounded by negativity, it will be much harder to break the cycle. But when you surround yourself with people who lift you up, who believe in your dreams, and who encourage your growth, you'll find it easier to maintain a positive mindset. This isn't just about external influences, though. It's about internal influences, too. The conversations you have with yourself matter. Pay attention to your self-talk. Are you speaking to yourself with kindness, encouragement, and hope? Or are you criticizing and doubting yourself? The way you talk to yourself can either fuel your growth or stifle it. Start speaking to yourself the way you would speak to a dear friend, with compassion, support, and belief in your potential. You might be thinking, this all sounds great, but what do I do when I just can't stop the negative thoughts from coming? Here's the truth. You don't have to stop them entirely. Negative thoughts will come. That's part of being human, but you can learn to manage them, to acknowledge them without letting them control you. When a negative thought arises, don't fight it. Recognize it, but don't give it more power than it deserves. Say to yourself, I see you, but I choose not to believe you. In those moments of doubt, remind yourself of the progress you've made. Think about all the times you've overcome challenges in the past. You've already survived your worst days, and you've come out stronger because of it. Your past is full of evidence that you are resilient, capable, and powerful. Draw strength from that truth whenever negativity tries to tell you otherwise. And remember, it's not just about breaking negative thoughts. It's about replacing them with positive, empowering ones. Each time a limiting thought arises, counter it with an affirmation of your strength and ability. Say to yourself, I am capable, I am enough, I am worthy, and I am deserving of success. These affirmations may feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you've spent years believing otherwise. But the more you repeat them, the more they will become ingrained in your subconscious, just as your negative thoughts once were. It's also helpful to celebrate your wins, no matter how small they may seem. Each step forward, each moment of positive thinking, each time you challenge a negative thought is worth celebrating. Progress is progress, and by acknowledging it, you reinforce the positive behaviors you're working to cultivate. Breaking negative thinking also requires that you practice mindfulness. Mindfulness teaches you to stay present, to observe your thoughts without judgment. When you practice mindfulness, you develop the ability to catch negative thoughts as they arise before they spiral out of control. It helps you create space between the thought and your reaction, allowing you to choose a more constructive response. With mindfulness, you learn that you are not your thoughts. You are the observer of them, and you have the power to change them. I want to emphasize that you are not alone in this journey. Everyone around you, no matter how confident or successful they may appear, struggles with negative thinking at some point. It's part of being human, but just as they've overcome it, so can you. Lean on your support system, seek out mentors, and don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. Together, we are stronger, and together, we can overcome the limiting beliefs that hold us back. Think of breaking negative thinking as a muscle that you're strengthening. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. In the beginning, it may feel challenging, but with time and persistence, it will become second nature. Soon, you'll find that the negative thoughts that once dominated your mind have been replaced by thoughts of possibility, hope, and self-belief. You are capable of more than you know. Your potential is limitless, and your mind is the key to unlocking it. Don't let negative thinking keep you from living the life you were meant to live. The world needs your unique gifts, your talents, and your voice. It's time to stop holding yourself back and start stepping into your greatness. So today, I challenge you. Break your negative thinking. Disrupt the patterns that have held you back. Rewrite the stories that have limited you. Believe in yourself, even when it's hard. Take action, even when it's scary. And never forget, you are stronger than your doubts, more powerful than your fears, and capable of achieving greatness beyond your wildest dreams. The time is now. Break your negative thinking and watch your life transform. Thank you.